Waveform Warrior episode 2. Let's talk about cardiac axis. Whenever there is an impulse generated in the heart, a lot of cardiac activity happens. And it goes in all directions because all the atrial cells are depolarizing, all the ventricle cells are depolarizing. But the left side of the ventricle is much thicker than the right side. So it generates more voltage. And the net vector lies in this direction. 12-lead ECG looks at the heart from various directions. And since the net vector lies in this direction, which is around plus 30 degrees, this is where the normal axis lies, between minus 30 to plus 90 degrees. Whenever the axis deviates towards the left, that is between minus 30 to minus 90, it is called a left axis deviation. Whenever the axis deviates towards the right, from plus 90 to 180 degree, it is called a right axis deviation. And the remaining part is called a northwest axis or extreme axis deviation.
First, understand that whenever an impulse goes towards the lead, it generates a positive deflection. And whenever it goes away from the lead, it generates a negative deflection.
You can take any two consecutive leads on this hex XCL reference system and determine the axis. But the most commonly used leads are lead 1 and AVF. So let's take an example. Here in lead 1, there is a predominantly positive deflection. So the direction should be around this lead. And in lead AVF also, there is a predominantly positive deflection. So the overlapping area between these two leads is this, which is between 0 to 90 degrees. So the axis should lie somewhere in this area, and hence is a normal QRS axis. Another example, here the lead 1 is predominantly negative. So the vector should be somewhere in this area, around 180 degree. And lead AVF is positive. So the vector should be in the 90 degree area. So the corresponding area is this area, which is right axis deviation area, between plus 90 to 180 degree. So this is a right axis deviation. Here another example where the ECG is predominantly positive in lead 1. So the vector will be here, and predominantly negative in lead AVF. So the vector will be here. So the corresponding area is here. Somewhere in this area should lie the total vector. And this is a left axis deviation.
You can remember it with a mnemonic as well. When 1 is positive and AVF is negative, it looks like they're leaving each other. This is a left axis deviation. So left leaves. And if 1 is negative and AVF is positive, it looks like they're approaching each other. It's a right axis deviation. So right returns. Left leaves and right returns.